So opinions, everybody has them, and we'll be going over. I already went over movies and stuff, but yeah, now we'll be going over someone else made a list similar to this that did most unpopular opinion on movies. Well, I'll be giving you my opinions that are the very, 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 very unpopular on the internet. So before you dislike this video because and call my opinion wrong, just remember an opinion cannot be right or wrong. Unless you hate Bubsy 3D. That's the correct opinion because Bubsy 3D is a pile of dog shit that shouldn't be liked by any means. But yeah, we'll be going over number one. Number one, my most unpopular opinion is Super Mario Galaxy is not it's not a good Mario game. Yep. This is one of those opinions that piss people off the most out of my Mario game rankings. And yeah, there was these people that's like in the video like, oh, why do you not like Mario Galaxy? I made a whole video to explain why I didn't like this game. And yeah, I can go to make a video. That's gonna be the first thing I'll bring up is that that video. If you haven't seen that one video, I bet there were probably some people who didn't watch that video and still think I'm just a really bad person for having the wrong opinion. Mario Galaxy, I don't like this game's controls. Again, I don't like the Wii as a console, and yeah, people will be angry at me for saying that alone. The Wii is my least favorite Nintendo console that is not named the Virtual Boy. Okay, the Wii has, I think, both the controls are probably the worst form of controls for any form of game. Okay, when I want to play a game, I want to press, but I want to play a game normally. Okay, play a game normally. I don't want to, move my hand around, zipping my hand around, and you might say, oh, you're just a lazy person. That's why you don't like these games, because you're too lazy. But no, I just want to play a game a normal way, okay? The motion controls make game worse, and yeah, Remote's not even that great of a controller, too, which hurts this game even more. I hope they, remake this game. I hope the leaks are true, that they're remaking Mario Galaxy, so us normal people who want to play a game normally and not want to play a game like the Wii way can finally play a game. Of course I'm in the super minority on this, but yeah, I don't want to play a game that is, multi controls everywhere. The next unpopular opinion, and I'm going to go for this very briefly, I don't like The Incredibles. Yep, I don't like this movie. I don't like its sequel. I don't like the first movie. I like superhero movies. I like Marvel, DC, The Mask, even the obscure stuff like The Tick. But I don't like this movie. It's just something about this movie I just don't like. Maybe it's the animation. Maybe, it's not. No, it's not because the movie is a cartoon. Because I like Spider-Man: The Spider-Verse, but I don't like this movie. Yeah, this movie. I always thought this movie was bland. I always thought this movie was just forgettable. I watched it like twice when I was a kid, and once like 2 years ago. I was like, I just don't get why this movie is so popular. There were like a few funny scenes in the movie and like a few heartfelt scenes, but does this really warrant to be one of the best superhero movies of all time? When you have movies like The Dark Knight, you have Infinity War, you have Aquaman, you have so much better movies nowadays than The Incredibles. And yeah, there's people, especially on the top tens. There was this one guy who was a passionate Incredibles fan, called me a Marvel fanboy for not liking this movie. And yeah, I never got the hype by this movie. I never understood. And not liking the second movie is not an unpopular opinion. There's a lot of people who do not like the second movie, but good for God, if you criticize the first movie, you have an army of Pixar fanboys going after you like, oh, dare you criticize Incredibles? That's an amazing movie, and I just don't like it. I never cared for the movie, and I never will care for the movie. And yeah, that's the next one. And yeah, the next unpopular opinion on the list, and yeah. The next unpopular opinion is I like some of the quote-unquote bad animated movies. So, not the Emoji Movie. I'm talking about movies like Cars 2 and, where to a lesser extent, movies that I find. And yeah, this is going to be a segue into another part. I didn't hate Cars 2. Probably because I've watched it so many times as a kid. So, I'm used to the movie. But yeah. I never hated Cars 2. I do hate Planes. That movie's a pile of trash. That movie it's garbage. Planes is garbage. Don't have to explain why Planes is garbage. Planes is just a ripoff of Cars. That's all I have to explain why Planes is garbage. But Cars 2, I never really hated this movie. I always thought this movie was funny. And yeah, that's the only reason why I like this movie, because I think it's pretty funny. I actually like the sub story as well they had in the movie, which is why people hate this movie, is because of the cows, because of because it didn't focus on Lightning McQueen. Yep, that's the reason why people hate this movie, which is one of the reasons why I didn't hate the movie. I do like the racing parts as well, but I do kind of, yeah, this movie is, yeah, I like this movie. Moving on. Number 4. Oh, this is gonna piss off people. Yep. I'm going to tell you this right here. Right here. I like Overwatch more than TF2. Yep. But again, I already pissed off people of The Incredibles. I think TF2 is still a good game, but yeah, Overwatch has more characters, more modes you can put. You can really make your own modes. The only thing that makes TF2 better is you can make your own maps in TF2. But Overwatch has a lot of things. They have a lot of characters, a lot of more diverse, and actually, TF2 used to have, until you can really make your own game modes in the workshop mode. And there's a lot of creative stuff in the workshop modes. And yeah, both games have toxic players. I don't have to explain that one. But again, every game has toxic players, especially Fortnite and especially Smash Bros, which has the worst toxic community and the entirety of the face of the goddamn earth. And then let's not get to Pokemon. Pokemon. But then we have this video. Overwatch versus TF2. Of course, old Overwatch. When you're talking about old Overwatch, I can see why people didn't like it. But again, they fixed some of the parts in there. And yeah, if you say Overwatch is better than TF2, it's like apparently a sin on the face of the planet. Kind of like saying that The Incredibles is bad. It's like such a unpopular opinion. If you say Fortnite is better, no, Fortnite is garbage. Fortnite is trash. I do not agree with Fortnite getting 9.6. Fortnite is worthy of a 0 out of 10. I do not think that TF2 should have an 8.9 on IGN, but I like Overwatch more than TF2 because I find the game more fun than TF2. Yeah, that's basically my reasoning there. I'm not gonna go for like a 20-minute video like Game Theory, which also claimed that Monica was real, which Monica is not real. She is a fictional character, okay? Monica is not the future of technology, okay? Not the future of technology. Number 5. Yep. This was bound to appear, Earthbound. I don't like the game. I get, in the past, I was trying to troll people to piss people off for not liking the game Earthbound. But I actually played the game on the Wii U. I actually completed the game, and I just felt unsatisfied. Playing this game. And then 2015 happened. Yep. Undertale came around, and the game Undertale made me hate the game Earthbound more. Why? Because everybody kept trying to prove that Earthbound and Undertale were somehow connected, even though they weren't. Because how could Earthbound and Undertale be connected when they're two totally different universes? When Earthbound really had the goddamn direct sequel called Mother 3, and they're telling me that both games are connected. Really? And really, it's Game Theory's fault for making this stupid theory that makes no sense at all. And Earthbound. And another thing I find this game overrated is people think this game is so funny, but it isn't. Earthbound is not funny. Maybe I'm just not a 90s kid, and I don't understand the humor, the intellectual humor of Earthbound. But yeah, there were a few scenes I thought was funny, but most of the game was not really that funny. The gameplay, it's just another RPG, and maybe I still like RPG games in general, because I don't like the game Yokai Watch either. Maybe I still like RPG games, but yeah, Earthbound, yeah, not maybe that's not my cup of tea. Maybe that's why I don't like this game. Yeah. The next game on the list is Doki Doki Literature Club. Yep. I don't like this game. Do I have to explain why I don't like this game? Okay, I can. There's a hate base behind Undertale. There's a big one behind Bendy, and there's a big one behind Baldi's Basics. I can. It's people see what know why can see why someone doesn't like this game, but again, according these are the same people who said Overwatch is not worthy of a 10 out of 10. Well, they gave this crap a 10 out of 10. They gave a game that is literally not a video game, okay? It's freaking tapping A over and over and over again. And yeah, but it's a free game. How can you hate a free game? Well, I don't like this game's characters. I do not like them. Maybe, but yeah, this game was overhyped, especially by Game Theory, trying to prove that Monaco was the future of technology. Well, if a certain game, if a certain character is going to be future technology, it's going to be a character that people actually like. Okay, not Monica. The Doke Reeps can try to tell you that Monica is this amazing character, but he's really just a character who ruins 3 other girls' lives for basically no particular reason, because he wants to be with you. Okay? Oh, Monica's so amazing because he breaks the fourth wall. Okay? Deadpool did it first. Okay? Monica is not an original, does not do anything original. Characters have been breaking the fourth wall for fucking decades. Decades! And you're telling me, oh, because Monica breaks the fourth wall. She's such an amazing character. No, she is not. No, she is not. And there are characters that break the fourth wall that do it way better and do it way funnier. Okay? And yeah. I think I know where this game idea came from. It came from Yandere Simulator. Yep. I think that's where this game's idea came from. Number 7. Okay, I think this is going to be my last negative opinion, because I can just go over more and more negative opinions. Oh, wait, we were including that unpopular. I want to do one that is not. Oh, here's one. The Fast and the Furious. Oh, dear Lord. This entire franchise is overrated. If you thought Michael Bay's Transformers was bad, well, guess what? You have The Fast and the Furious. You have basically 9 movies of exactly the same goddamn thing, okay? I actually am so shocked that I forgot to put this entire franchise on the list. I seen like 2 movies, and yeah, they're basically the same thing. People driving around cars and beating each other up. Oh yes, that's the entire plot of these movies, okay? They're all the same movies, okay? You could try to convince me that Fast and Furious is such an amazing franchise. You just don't get it. But if I want to watch a better movie, let's watch any, I watched a movie called... There's much better movies about cars than Fast and the Furious, which is basically just a movie about blowing cars up in the most Michael Bay way possible, okay? I was just surprised these movies are not made by Michael Bay because of the amount of explosions and, car explosions in this entire goddamn series. And yeah, and of course there's some movies in this entire franchise that people don't like Tokyo Drift. But I'm talking about the newer ones where people kept making such a big deal about them, especially China, where they'll sell out $1 billion for each goddamn movie that comes out of this franchise. It's like, come on, give it a break. Not everybody likes Fast and the Furious. Just come on, okay? Just come on, okay? Number 8. I like the movie Justice League. I do want to see the Snyder Cut. I think that would be a pretty interesting to watch. But there are people who hate this movie, mostly Marvel fanboys. Again, this is by the top 10, the same site who has accused me of being a Marvel fanboy, but I like the Justice League movie. I think it's a solid 7 out of 10 movie. I don't think it's the CGI is bad at some points. But yeah, but again, most modern movies sometimes have really bad CGI. Even Marvel has bad CGI. Heck, Black Panther has worse CGI than this entire. Black Panther in the final fight of that movie has really bad CGI. But yeah, people praise that movie as a masterpiece. I think this is like the D. I think that the problem reason why people don't like this movie is the fact they didn't set up the DC characters as well. That they could really establish them. And yeah, after seeing the Aquaman movie, yeah, the Aquaman movie is pretty great, but yeah, I think that the Snack Snyder, I do want to see the Snack Snyder's Justice League. It'll probably be pretty good. Won't be surprising since the first. But I do not. I do understand why people hate this movie because Zack Snyder got snubbed for making his own vision of the movie. Where Justice League was originally supposed to be split into two parts of a movie. One be spot on the HBO version. They released a whole 4 hour cut of the movie. But yeah, I think this movie is pretty entertaining and yeah, it's pretty fun to watch. I still think The Avengers is better. It's probably around Age of Ultron quality of a movie. Yeah, I'm comparing Justice League to Age of Ultron, which Age of Ultron isn't even that great anyways. So, yeah, number 9. Number 9. I like the movie called The Meg. The Meg is another movie that is just pretty fun to watch. But yeah, some of the reviews of this movie were absolutely ridiculous because someone hated the movie because it wasn't gory enough, even though there was like some scenes where there was a lot of blood. It's a fucking PG-13 movie. And yeah, there was these people saying that it's just a poor man versus a judge. We're pointing back to that one review on Metacritic saying this movie is just a poor man versus a judge, even though the movie is a PG. I think Jaws is not even rated R. It's rated like PG before the PG-13 movies were invented. So you're telling me that this movie doesn't, but yeah, this movie has enough blood in it. But yeah, I like to watch this movie. It is kind of more like an internet movie based off the conspiracy theory that there still might be Megalodon still in the, deep, still maybe in the deep waters. And yeah, it's still better than 47 Meters Down. That movie was, if you want to see a real bad sock movie, just watch that or Jurassic Sock. Those are really bad sock movies. Or just watch the fourth Jaws movie. The fourth one, not the first one. The fourth one, called Jaws or Revenge. That's just as bad as 47 Meters Down. But yeah, The Meg is I actually like to watch it. It's a pretty enjoyable movie to watch. And yeah, I like to watch this movie. It was pretty fun to watch. It was, pretty entertaining. And I heard they were also making a sequel, which probably may never come out, considering how movie sequels are made nowadays. So yeah, number 10. Number 1, I don't like the new Pokemon games. I'm going to talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Those are the ones I don't like. The Pokemon games I like the most are the ones I grew up with. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, the Gen 3 games, and the Gen 5 games. Pokemon Go became true of the new Pokemon games. Basically, every Pokemon game, with the exception of Sun and Moon, passed Pokemon Go. Because, yeah, I think Pokemon Go ruined the Pokemon franchise. And there's always be that one Pokemon fanboy that is going to go ahead and defend Game Freak. Yep, go ahead and defend Game Freak. To this day, I still haven't bought Pokemon Sword and Shield. Yep, still haven't bought these games. And probably never will. Because when I look at this game, I look at the game with horrible graphics, with incomplete, with awful bugs and glitches plaguing the game, and this game was praised by these PokeTubers and all these quote-unquote Pokemon channels. And of course, they probably did because that's the only thing they ever play is Pokemon. So of course, they have to accept whatever swap Game Freak gives them. But especially Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. God damn, those games are awful, okay? They ruined the entire mechanic. Now let's go from one at one. Ultra Sun and Moon is basically just them starting the same game as Sun and Moon. They're still good games, but come on, they're the same games as Sun and Moon. And I'm just surprised that Call of Duty gets ripped on for making the same game over and over and over again. But Ultra Sun and Moon is basically the same game as Sun and Moon. With the only difference in the story is the Crowbar is the big Pokemon, is the big bad instead of the evil team. Yeah, that's the only difference. Now let's go to Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, I didn't fall for the hype. Everybody was saying the Pokemon Go is so amazing. It's so amazing. You could play Pokemon on your phone, okay? When I first saw it, I was like, oh, look, they're bringing Pokemon to your phone. An actual Pokemon open world game that we've been asking for. But what did we get? We got crap like CP. We didn't get Wobbles. We didn't get any Wobbles. I didn't get the Pokemon experience I wanted. We got crap like CP. What the fuck is CP supposed to even mean? Okay, we're moving on for Pokemon Go. Then we have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Basically continued all of the problems of Pokemon with Pokemon Go. And guess what? This game has fucking motion controls in this game. And you know how much I hate motion controls? And also, it is a Gen 1 remake, so I think this game was basically made for the Gen 1ers to cash grab for the Gen 1ers so they can have the Gen 1 games. And also, they released Meltan and Melmetal, two of my least favorite Pokemon of all time. And yeah, there are people saying how great this game is. Let's look at these scores. So the 93% of people liked this game. Probably mostly little kids saying how great Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is. Not even knowing the actual good Pokemon games that existed. And this game is also the most hand-holdy of any games. The easiest Pokemon games, okay? You can beat the Elite Four with one Metapod. Your fucking Metapod. Okay? And then we have the travesties. Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield. Oh, yes. I made a whole rant on these goddamn pieces of sick games, okay? Pokemon Sword and Shield is nothing but a pile of garbage, and you'll never change my mind. I look at these games, and people are saying these games have good graphics. Okay, we'll be going over the graphics first, okay? The graphics of Pokemon Sword and Shield. The graphics of Pokemon Sword and Shield. They're garbage. They're garbage tier graphics. These graphics are garbage. Okay? And the graphics haven't really changed since these first trailers. These graphics is what we got. The graphics basically look like a 3DS game poured on the Switch. This game shows and that's why I didn't buy the game. This game shows the laziness of Game Freak. Shows how lazy Game Freak is. And this is a modded version of the graphics. Look at how much better the game looks. Okay, so without looking at the words original and modded, which one do you think is made by Game Freak? You would think the more brighter and more vibrant graphics would be. No, we got the dull graphics of Pokemon Sword and Shield. The dull-ass looking graphics of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Oh, look at this one. The second one looks way better. Yes, it does. Because they actually put more effort into the graphics of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Look at these the textures are not the only thing. The new Pokemon suck. They removed like half the Pokemon because they claimed we didn't have enough space, even though we put slightly tweaked models of the Pokemon from Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, and yes, even X and Y. They have been using the same goddamn Pikachu model since fucking X and Y. And people on the internet will still go out and make lengthy responses to failing this game. And yeah, that's the number 1 or 10. I just go from number 1 to 10. They're not really in any orders because they're still all unpopular opinion at the end of the goddamn day. I don't like Pokemon Sword and Shield. I don't like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I still don't like whatever swap, whatever cast grab Game Freak makes. Pokemon is basically the Call of Duty of Nintendo. It's probably gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of people like me who hate the new Pokemon games and refuse to buy them, but there'll still be that massive loyal fan base who will still buy 10 million copies of the same game that they have been gained for the same goddamn 20 years. And yeah, there's probably many more unpopular opinions I can go over, but yeah, I managed to avoid talking about Undertale with the exception of that Earthbound segment in the video, so congratulations Undertale, you didn't get ripped on today. That's basically it. Goodbye.